picked it up in the song. And not so much AC/DC. I'm going to say this. I'm leaning more towards Deep Purple. That's
oh,
what,
wow, okay.
That's what it reminded me of, and
because of the B3, he uses
Brandon. I mean,
Brandon Silva uses the B3, right?
I mean, if you want to go ahead and tell Brandon, he sounds to me very reminiscent of John Lord, who just and I get a lot of, and I don't know why this is, I get a lot of Deep Purple and some of the music that you guys are doing, Circus Stormbringer and stuff like that. But definitely pass that along to him because his playing is phenomenal, and it really comes out on that particular track. And
well, thank you very much. Yeah, he'll love that.
Yeah, and the other song that I wanted to ask you about, which you're also going to play, is "Ain't Much Left of Me." So that's a phenomenal song, very emotional too. So what can you tell us about that particular track?
Okay, that one. A few years ago, I got together with a guy named David Lee Murphy up in Nashville, and David Lee's written, he is an artist himself. He had a really big country hit years ago called Dust on the Bottle. And he's a great writer, got a great voice, really good guy. And I'd never met him before. His manager actually contacted us and said, you guys want to get together and write a tune. So we sat down and wrote basically just lyrics for that song, and just acoustic guitars. And it kind of sat around for a little bit. And I always really liked, just really thought the lyrics were great, But it kind of, that day, it was just like, okay, well, it was just, strumming on an acoustic guitar. It didn't really have a riff. You know what I mean? It needed something. So, I was sitting around one day and I had this riff kind of laying around, this guitar riff, in open G guitar tuning, and then so that I started playing that riff with the song, and it kind of gave it a new life. And so then we had a rehearsal, and that was one of the songs where the whole band contributed to the music, and we just sat, and it just kept growing and growing, And live, we really stretched that one out too. It's got a big open middle section, but it got real. It went from being an acoustic song, to a fully realized big huge rock and roll song to me, as soon as that's the way that one grew.
I think we've got a couple of more questions for you, and then we'll let you go back to your rest probably, and then back out on the road. We just wanted the name of the band. Where'd that come from? I heard it was from Chris Robinson of the Black Rose. Is that true?
That's true, yeah. He's been a friend to the band for a long time, friends of Britt Turner, the drummers, for a long, long time. And when the band first started, we were coming out, myself, Britt, and Richard were coming out of another band with another singer-songwriter guy, and we pretty much, and it just wasn't what we wanted to do, and we knew we wanted to stay together, so we put this band together, and we decided to call the band something, and found out we couldn't use it, and we had already booked some gigs around town, and so it was kind of like, oh hell, well, we need a name for the band quickly, and I personally was like, don't look at me. I'm, I had a hard enough time naming my son. I can't name this band. So Chris was sitting with Britt, and he was like, I know what you should call it. And he spit out a few ridiculous things first, probably that I can't repeat. But then he landed on, Britt kept calling me. Every one he would say, even the stupid ones. So it was like, what about, Richard Turner Explodes? And it was like, no. And then he finally called back and was like, the Blackberry Smoke. And I was like, that's great. Let's get rid of the and just call it Blackberry Smoke. So we did. That was it.
Well, it's a great name. So
one last question, then we'll let you go. Like we do every week on the Hard Rockology Show when we have an interview, we always ask the musicians about their Spinal Tap moments. I'm sure you have some. Do you?
Yes, probably more than I can count.
Anyone particular you want to share, or you just want to leave us guessing?
Well, there was a really good one not long ago. We've been using in-ear monitors, which I really hate as a guitar player, but as a singer, they're nice because you can hear yourself so well. And I can't stand to use two, so I'll pretty much pull one out. But you have to have this little pack on your butt in your pocket for it to work. And this might not be a Spinal Tap moment, it just might be a Charlie's a dumbass moment, but we were opening for Skinner, 20,000 people in this arena, and we walked on stage to the tune of, "Ladies and gentlemen, Southern Ground recording artist Blackberry Smoke," and we walk up and people are cheering, and I don't have my little pack, so I can't hear anything. Yeah, see, that's more of a
That's a Spinal Tap moment, I would say, in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah, so I turned to a guitar tech at that point and was like, "I don't have my pack," and he's like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" So he had to run and get it. Probably one of the best ones, though. We played the North Texas Rock Rally years ago in North Texas, and it was a hot, nasty day, and there was a wall of porta potties out. We were playing with Ted Nugent, and it must have been 107 degrees, and I decided to go to the porta potty to freshen up, as it were. Gig butt is what you can get on a day like that, the musicians say. And so I walked into the porta potty and forgot to lock the door, of course. And so as I'm standing there doing my business with my pants around my knees, of course the door opens, and at that point there's an audience of 100 people out there waiting to use the bathroom. And I did the old, "I'm in here." That's all. What else can anybody ever say?
Yeah, that is true.
So I pulled the door closed and locked it, and then, decided, well, how am I going to walk out now in front of all these people after they've just seen my business? But I had to. I couldn't crawl out the back door, that's for sure.
That's true. All right, well, I'm going to let you introduce the title track from your for the new album.
Okay.
But before you do that, Charlie, I just want to say I really appreciate you coming on the show and doing the interview, especially with your schedule the way it is. I know you got about another hour and a half before you got to get out there, right?
Any more West Coast dates coming out here?
Yeah, that's a good question. Any more West Coast dates planned in the not so distant future?
I'm sure that there are. I haven't been made aware of them yet, but they're definitely always on the horizon,
Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you when you guys come back out here. So.
All right, so let's let Charlie Starr take us out with the title track. Introduce it, Charlie.
Yeah, this is my favorite song on the album. It's called The Whippoorwill.
All right, Whippoorwill on Hard Rockology, KNOC Radio. And thanks again, Charlie. Good luck to everybody on your band and everything.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.